know the wheat to separate the grain from the chaff, the poet says that the wind god separates the strong people from the weak people. When there is a strong wind, all the things that are weak fall down and they get crushed. He won't do what you tell. So, come, let's build strong homes. Let's join the doors firmly. Practice to firm the body. Make the heart steadfast. Do this and the wind will be friends with us. So here the poet is making friends with the wind. What the poet is saying, that the wind will not listen to us. The adversity in life will not listen to us that okay, you are weak so I will not come in your life. No, the adversity will come. So we should be prepared for it. And what is the preparation the poet is saying? We should build strong homes. And he says, let's join the doors firmly. We should close the doors of our house firmly, strongly, so that the wind cannot get into. And then he says that we should make our bodies also strong and our heart should also be steadfast. Steadfast means firm. So in these lines, the poet is making the reader strong. The wind depicts the adversities or challenges in life, and the poet is saying that we should be prepared for the worst. And so we should make ourselves physically and mentally strong so that we can face all the challenges in our life. And then once we are strong enough, all the challenges will become our friends. We will not feel that these are troubles for us. They will be just like a good friend for us. And then he says the wind blows out weak fires. He makes strong fires roar and flourish. Flourish means to grow. His friendship is good. We praise him every day. So here the poet has kept the wind on a pedestal. He is comparing the wind to God. He says that wind is God and we praise wind every day. So what we come to know, that the wind blows out weak fires. So everything that is weak gets finished off in the face of the strong wind. And all the things that are strong, they flourish and grow to become stronger. And so the poet is saying that being friends with the wind means that we are strong enough. And so this is a good friendship. And then when we are strong enough, we are friends with the wind, we will feel that wind is good for us and we will praise the wind. So that is what the poet is saying. He is giving us a very important message that we should not feel bad that there is a strong wind, we are facing so many challenges and adversities in life. We should make ourselves physically and mentally strong to face these challenges. And then once we are strong enough, we will overcome the challenges, we will become friends with them, and then we will be happy that we had these challenges in our life because they helped us become stronger and better. Now as we have discussed the poem, now we will discuss the literary devices used in the poem. Now first of all, there is no rhyme scheme in the poem. The entire poem is written in free verse. A very prominent literary device is anaphora. Anaphora is when a particular word is repeated at the start of two or more consecutive lines. Like all these three lines begin with don't. This is anaphora. There are more instances of anaphora also, like here you can see you has been repeated at the start of these three lines. Now the next important literary device used in the poem is personification. In the entire poem, wind has been personified. Here you can see when the poet says you are, the poet is referring to wind as you. That means he is treating wind as a living thing. Here also when he refers to the wind as he and his, so these instances personify the wind. Another important device used in the poem is repetition. In this line, crumbling word is repeating many times. This is used in order to lay emphasis. The poet wants to say that the wind crushes everything that is weak, and that is why he has repeated the word crumbling. Now there's another device that is used in the poem, that is alliteration. Alliteration is the repetition of a consonant sound in close connection. Now let us see the instances of alliteration in this poem. Here, wind, winnows. Both these places, ver sound is repeating. Again in the next line, won't, what. Ver sound is repeating. So these are the two instances of alliteration from the poem. Now there is the use of symbolism in the poem. Symbolism means that a thing refers to some other thing. So in this poem, wind is a symbol. The wind refers to the challenges in life, and we can say that the poet has used symbolism. He is using wind as a symbol for